We're going live. When Kwame Brown say no cussing in the first 2 minutes, right?
You said what?
I was saying, what did Kwame Brown always say? No cussing in the first 2 minutes, right?
That's what he said?
Yeah, it's like
It's
a.
supposed to be too long for me, bro. I don't know. What's that,
You
brother?
ain't up on your Kwame?
I'm a little behind on my Kwame.
Oh boy.
Well, he had an episode this week, but I definitely need to get a chance to watch that.
He's live actually several times a day sometimes.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. It
Several
is
times
madness.
a
Yeah.
day. Oh, what was the other thing we were talking about the other day? Oh, I guess that's actually related to Donda. Never mind.
Related to Donda. All right, we are live. Just in case you ain't know, now you know, nigga. It's the Self-Medicated Podcast. As always, I am your host, the Wayfarer, aka Quentin Quarantino, aka the Banter Boss, aka Jon Snow, because I know absolutely nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And this is true. But they also call me Young Wastradamus, aka Young Mortgage Freeman.
What the hell is he doing? Fucking people. Fucking people.
Fucking people. AKA Young Floyd Mayweather, AKA Troy the Checker, AKA Wade Pesos. Here's always with the captain of the igloo, young, popular, and friendly, AKA the Box Hunter, AKA One Pop Poppy, AKA the Bottom Feeder, AKA the Black Kevin Sorbo, AKA Young Black Hercules, AKA the strongest nigga you know. Yeah. The strongest nigga you know. Bicep flex. There it is.
Button too hard, bro.
AKA the light skinned Kevin Samuels.
Do you want this to go reasonably or do you want it to go left?
Usually goes left. AKA the Durag Don Dada. What it do? What it do? What it do? How you been?
Man.
How you living?
Been living good, man. Been living good. Starting to get hot again, which I don't appreciate, but you know what I'm saying? Weather was good for the majority of the week. Everybody's been good. Been meeting some new interesting people. Had a good weekend hanging out with my homies last week, man. I'll hang out with some family this week, so all was good, man. How about
That's
you?
beautiful.
How are things
That's beautiful.
in Mexico?
In Mexico, things are awesome in Mexico. We went to the monkey sanctuary earlier this week.
Is that racist?
It could be. It really could be. But nah, it was this cool little sanctuary, but like a conservatory for a bunch of different types of animals. They get like rescued or just brought to this particular sanctuary. So apparently they recently, within the last few years, banned animals at the circus in Mexico.
Good.
Yeah. And so there's a bunch of different like sanctuaries that have been getting like rescue animals from circuses. So that was interesting to see like different types of monkeys, different species of monkeys. We actually hung out, like got to pet one type of monkey. We took some pictures with some macaws. That was pretty dope. And then we got to swim in one of the cenotes, which is like a underground freshwater cave, which was pretty lit. It was like bats and shit down there. It was pretty amazing to see, actually.
Did you like document this?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
When y'all get back, y'all like, here's a little photo dump from our honeymoon.
That's probably what's gonna end up happening. Yeah, every picture I take, the Haitian sensation won't let me keep. So like, I'm probably gonna have to do my own like secret post of pictures that I took. But yeah, it was. I think she put the whatever day it was. She had like some pictures and videos on her IG story. But
Yeah, I've seen a
most
couple of
likely
them. I
I'm
saw you walking with some kind of animal. Was it a goat?
it was a goat. Yeah, it was a goat.
Okay. Yeah. How was that? You fucking with the goats?
Mm. Usually I don't fuck with goats, but these goats were actually very personable. Like they had they had very they were they were like they had a lot of personality and they were
Really?
yeah, they were like little individuals. It was very interesting to see.
I
There was
never
this
really have.
one
Go ahead.
there was this one black goat who had like a Prince hairstyle and a beard. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, they were cool. Them goats are cool.
Yeah. You thinking about getting a pet goat instead of a dog when you come back?
Nah, I'd be tempted to fry that motherfucker up and eat it or some shit.
Don't let the
I'd be
Haitians
way
get
too
to it. Don't let
tempted.
the
Yeah,
Haitian
exactly.
thing.
Exactly. Yeah, nah. The
It's funny. My my teacher was talking about because he's Puerto Rican. He was talking about how when he grew up in Puerto Rico, he had a pet pig, and around I guess I got it around summertime and around fall. Family said it was harvesting time, so you know what I'm saying, they killed that pig in front of him, and he was like talking about how shocked he was, and he's like, but eventually I got hungry. He's like, so I had to eat my friend. Because we were talking
had
about
to
like
eat his friend.
talking about because we have a guy that's a vegan, and he was saying how like he has no problem with people like hunting and killing their own food, but he's like, I don't fuck with the mass production meat, but like if you grow it and raise it or hunt it and kill it, I'm cool with that. That's ethical. He's like, yeah, and he's like, yeah. Because somebody's like, if people knew how their meat was made, they probably wouldn't eat it. And he was like, you would think that, but when I was in Puerto Rico,
Niggas get hungry, goddamn. After a while, it don't matter.
Even the vegan
Like,
dude
was
was
it
like,
breathing at one point?
yeah, it don't matter.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Hungry,
I think, yeah, if people really did know how their food was made, they probably would not be able to fuck with it at all.
mm-hmm. Oh man.
Say that again.
I said at all. But you know what I'm saying?
Of course, this would.
That's why I kind of want to get into hunting, so I have a greater appreciation of doing stuff like that, like killing animals and eating them. I had to earn it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we should go fishing when I get back. That'd be fun.
Oh man, we gotta go
fishing
hunting with our bare hands.
Hunting with our bare hands. We should do like a fishing hunting trip and just like catch some food.
We should definitely do that.
Like some wood campfire cooking.
We should definitely do that with the bachelor party group. Did you hear me?
Are you back? Yeah, you're back now. What'd you say?
Yeah, I said we should definitely do that with the bachelor party group.
Oh yeah, that would be lit actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a beautiful idea. Do a Atlanta part 2.
You would go
Georgia
fishing in Atlanta, or you
good
just
spot too.
Bro?
Maybe not Atlanta, but like Georgia. Georgia would be a good spot to do. Definitely for fishing. I know some good spots for fishing out there. Some fat ass catfish out there. All right. That's enough. That's enough bullshitting. Yeah, let's get into Donda, man. So Kanye had the listening session for Donda, his allegedly upcoming album. It was a listening experience that was live streamed through Apple Music. So if you weren't able to watch it on the event on Apple Music, then you kind of fucked up and missed out. And that's just that. But yeah, so Kanye was previewing he was previewing the songs from the new album. So let's start there. I want to get your impression about the songs that were played during the listening party. Let's start with that. This is gonna be multi-layered conversation.
Maybe not so much on my end. I say that because I was on a Zoom call, so I kind of just had it playing in the background. I didn't really get to like give it an in-depth listen, so I just kind of heard the beats and some of the people. I heard the voices of some of the features. Like I know Pusha was on there. I know Lil Baby was on there, and I know Jay-Z had the verse, of course. But other than that, I didn't really get to hear the bars. And the production sounded amazing, but that's expected with a Kanye album. True. Jay-Z feature was definitely surprising. But outside of that, I can't really say much outside of I'm excited to hear how the album sounds when it does come out, you know, because it sounds like Kanye's back in his like production bag. As far as
did he ever lead a production bag?
I would say
like even the gospel album, the production was pretty decent. Like the beats were pretty lit on there.
But those weren't like rap beats, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Those more gospel. So this sounded more rappy, sing-songy Kanye, which I appreciate, where he didn't have other people doing the vocals. Because I don't remember him really rapping a lot on that gospel album.
Not a ton. There was some.
I remember it being more the choir and more features. Yeah. So this one, it sounded like he was back into his rapping bag and kind of talking about life on the like bars I would catch here and there while I was on the Zoom call.
Yeah, I would say the songs sounded pretty good. The features all sounded like they were killing the shit. It seemed, I agree with you, he seems to be like in prime beat making mode. Used a lot of samples. To me, it sounds like almost like a new age or new wave gospel album to me. It sounded like a increased BPM, like hype, kind of turned up gospel music in terms of some of the instruments that were used. Yeah. A lot of choir, a lot of organs. And it also seemed like a lot of the subject matter was very God conscious. I'll put it like that, to say the least. There's a lot of God talk in there, but it seemed not so much preachy, but like more God conscious, if that makes sense. So definitely sounds
spiritual?
Like
I feel like that's the word people use when it's not religious.
Nah, but it was religious though, if that makes sense. Like it was a lot of references to God and like Bible-y shit, but it wasn't so much preachy. It was more so like, you know, oh, God is in my life, or I don't know. It's a little bit hard to explain, but it's new. It's not nothing we've heard before, right? Like it's I don't think we can accuse Kanye of ever having multiple albums that sound alike, similar sounds, or anything like that. And I think this keeps up with that tradition. I would say obviously the Jay-Z verse stood out. And the backstory behind that verse stood out. I think the Lil Baby verse was good. The Travis Scott song was really good. Pusha T song was really good. And yeah, at this point, I'm just frustrated that I stayed up to wait for the album to drop. Because it's one of those that you're gonna want to play. Like it's gonna have some really high replay value. Like people are gonna run it back a lot. I can definitely see
I haven't had a chance to scour the internet, but I'm pretty sure the album is up. Like what was presented on Apple Music is up somewhere. I just haven't had a chance to look for it because I've been gone all day. Have you done that?
True. No, but Elliot has he posted Jay-Z's full verse as like a video.
Okay. From that, or just he
Um,
actually has the like audio and he posted that.
nah, I think it was from the listening session.
Okay.
But you're right. It is the internet. It's probably some version of, I mean, what we heard last night, somebody probably figured out a way to rip the audio. I tried taking screenshots during the thing and it's totally blocked. Like I've never even seen that before. Yeah, all my
Really?
screenshots were just blacked out pictures. Yeah. I was like, fucking Apple. That's the type of shit that you can do when you're like, you know what I'm saying? When you put everything through the same shit. But also to think about, I'm anticipating, it's Kanye, so I'm anticipating that the listening session is going to be a different sound experience than the actual album. Number one, I know that because the album ain't coming out yet, so we know he's changing shit. And number two, the during the listening session, it seemed like some songs he only played his features verse, and some songs he only played one verse. So some of them songs I feel like are going to be deeper, more depth to them. It's just going to be a different experience when the actual album comes out.
Huh. That's weird. I wonder if the songs aren't finished or he just didn't want to reveal the whole song because kind of what we were talking about earlier. Justin LeBoy said he heard the whole album. He made it seem like, because he definitely made it seem like it was done and coming out complete. This is amazing. He didn't sound like it was something that was still in the works. So I'm curious, like, what version he heard compared to what version we heard, you know?
Yeah. I personally think it's done. I think two things. Number one, I think that getting the whole verse late meant that shit was not coming out. Like I think that there's gonna be some business behind that. There's gonna be some conversation to be had before Jay completely, totally clears that, I believe. And number two, and this actually might be related to that, I'm sure Kanye wants to tweak something sonically. After hearing it, after hearing it at the during the listening session, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's like, oh shit, I want to change this, and this. If you notice with the show, or actually, I'm gonna save that piece. But yeah, I believe there's probably gonna be some sonic tweaks and some things that he'll probably either add or take out for the actual album experience. To further set it apart from the listening session. I think it's going to be a fairly different experience.
I can see that. Yeah, that's a good point.
How do you feel about what was the point I was getting ready to make? Then I said I'm gonna hold off on that. I don't know.
Something about, I think, features, maybe?
Features, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, I'm excited for the album. I think, yeah. Do you think this is what I wanted to say. So, in terms of the listening session and the show, I thought it was very, very interesting that he didn't speak. He didn't do any talking during this concert, which is, to me, consistent with this rollout. How he's just been showing up places all armored out in his ski mask. and not saying shit and just sneaking around and just making his presence felt and moving around.
I was thinking about that. I feel like Kanye was the first person to wear a mask as far as rap in the modern era. Because he was wearing masks on that tour he was doing where he had the emotional breakdown. Was it the I think it might have been, was it
Life
the
of
Life of Pablo tour? Yeah, he was wearing a bunch of masks back then. He was wearing like the no, I'm sorry. This is the Yeezus era. Where he was wearing like that sequence mask. You remember that?
I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was he's pioneering.
So yeah, he fathered that. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I just thought
Actually,
about that. Yeah.
that
I know
makes sense.
Ghostface was doing it back in the day, and of course MF Doom, but those were like years ago. That's why I said modern era. But yeah.
No, that's a good point. So this whole rollout to me has been about silenced Ye, right? And him proving a point that y'all have been hating me and like pissed off at me for the things that I've been saying. Watch how much you love me when I don't say shit. And I just put music out. I feel like he's literally trying to make that point. I put that on my Instagram the other day. Y'all shamed the man for talking. Now he won't speak. Somebody else that Elliot posted. But Elliot posted every fucking thing. But he was like, no one man should have all that power. He literally did zero promo on his own, except for post a couple Instagram pictures. He didn't say anything. He didn't announce a release date. Nothing from his mouth at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold on one second.
Next thing you know.
Right back, brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Keep talking, please.
Yeah. He didn't say anything, didn't promote it at all from his own mouth, and still got thousands of people to show up to Atlanta to the listener session. It had the whole internet going crazy and people excited and anticipating and wanting some new Ye. And that's what he said. No one man should have all that power, right? Like, it's just interesting to see how much, how polarizing of a person he really, really is, even to this day. Of like, nah, people have been upset with Ye, but we miss him, right? Like we definitely miss him, and I don't know. It's just refreshing to hear like the excitement and the buzz and the anticipation, that familiar feeling of anticipation of Kanye music. I thought that felt amazing. We try to do a lyric breakdown of Jay's verse.
Sorry about that.
Would you want to do a lyric breakdown of Jay's verse?
If I heard it, I definitely would. Or are you about to? Yeah, we probably can't even play it. You're gonna have to read it. All right, spit it like Jay-Z.
Hold on, I might be able to play it. Actually, I probably can't. Can I?
Yeah, I
should have get taken down. This whole should have get demonetized, won't it?
Exactly.
Look, I don't know how I can pull up the lyrics. Let me see. Jay-Z, Kanye West.
How's them the naps been treating you?
The naps?
Mm-hmm.
Naps have been treating me amazing. I'm just worried about making sure that when I go back to work that I don't need naps in the middle of the day, which actually won't be the worst thing because I'm working from home. So if I like schedule it right, I could probably get in like an hour nap in my lunch break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so
that is a great convenience working from home. Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna share this screen. So folks at home can see this with us. Let me see if it pulls up. Screen share. Does it pull that up? Screen share. Can you see this?
I was reading the Kanye verse, like, man. Okay. Oh, that was the J verse.
So did you hear the whole verse?
Like I said, I was on a Zoom call.
Okay.
I didn't get to like listen to it. I heard it, but I didn't listen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So in that case, then I would just go through a couple of highlights that I saw, a couple of bars that I caught. The very first one is was posted on the internet already. Elliot already got it. Pray 5 times a day. So many felonies. Fell on knees praying.
Oh,
that whole entendre.
Damn.
Yeah.
Also, praying 5 times a day. Islam, you pray on your knees. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
The next one was where he's actually talking. Jay is actually talking straight up to Kanye's mom, where he tells, "Hold up, Donna, with your baby when I touch back road." Told him to stop all that red cap. We going home. Red cap. Make America great again. MAGA.
Yeah.
And then Hov and Yeezus like Moses and Jesus. That's a recycled bar, but it still hit.
You said that before?
Yeah, I think he said, what did he say? Yeezy is a carpenter. What did he say? Yeezy is a carpenter, lay beats, holy flow, the Holy Ghost, get the hell up out your seats. Whatever song that is, I can't remember. He didn't use it the exact same way, but he's compared him and Kanye to biblical figures in the past.
Okay.
This what Braille looked like. I thought that was an amazing bar. What does Braille look like? Yeah, I don't know. This is definitely going to be one of those songs that I'm anticipating a lot. Oh, did you see the artwork?
Yeah.
So the artwork was reminiscent of the floor pattern that he chose for the viewing session. So for the viewing session, the camera for the most part was from above. And it was basically, it looked like a giant silhouette of the moon pretty much. And his outfit was the same orangish, kind of burnt orangish color as the artwork. Yeah, that was interesting. He was basically just walking around the entire football field, listening to his own shit, jamming out to his own shit. It was dope on the song. Yeah, yeah. On the song that they debuted during the finals with Shakara Richardson, I want to say No Child Left Behind. When that song came on, he got down and did a track stance, which was interesting. Like he was about to shoot off the block. Entendres all over the place there. But that was interesting to see. I just thought it was a very interesting I don't know, concept to not be talking, be like masked up, face covered, not speaking, just walking around, literally enjoying the music. I thought that was just a whole interesting presentation.
Do you know the significance of the album art?
Say that again.
I said, do you know the significance of the album art?
I think I read it somewhere, but I don't remember.
All right. I came across this on the internet. I had posted it on my Instagram. I thought it was interesting. It's art done by Louis Bourgeois, and Louis Bourgeois is woman. Miss Art made art work through the trauma of losing her mother at a young age. This is why Kanye chose that art for the album, of course, Donda being his mother's name. And,
Right.
you know, that art, I guess, definitely hit him because of the significance of it to the artist. So I'm assuming that is one of the reasons why he wanted to match the name of the album with that artwork from her. So I thought that was kind of dope.
Yeah, that is dope.
And an interesting place to approach your art from.
Exactly. Yeah, this kind of flies in the face of this MAGA Kanye that he's been presenting to the world and that people have been falling for the last few years. Another thing that I noticed too about a lot of the album, there were a lot of references to freedom fighting, justice. There were a lot of different like references to that. I thought that was interesting. I can't wait to dive more into that to see if that was just something that my ears was catching, or is that something that he was actually focusing on throughout the album?
Yeah.
Because I wonder if he's getting ready to try to start turning the narrative of whatever he was doing with the red cap as serving some sort of altruistic purpose, and that he never was really with the shits, but was doing what he had to do, or if he is going to present it as a learning experience. It depends on how he presents it. It's Kanye West. We clearly know now that he don't even have to say shit to control his narrative, right? Like he could figure out how to present it in a way that people will gobble it up, I'm sure.
I think to go back to what I said a couple of weeks ago, as far as the fans, the people that are supporters, use that instead of followers, supporters of Kanye, I think the supporters will give him, shoot him that bail for that. The fans that have already abandoned ship just because they don't agree with what he did or what he said, I don't think they would go for that. You know what I'm saying? No matter how convincing or how much sense it makes, if he does go that route, it would probably not be with it.
Well, here's the thing. I saw a whole lot of motherfuckers that last time I checked had canceled Kanye that was at that fucking listening session. That was streaming that goddamn listening session. Yeah. Nah, I saw a whole bunch of them motherfuckers who had. Yeah. I saw a whole lot of those people tweeting and asking for links and at the actual listener party at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So I don't know, man. I don't think anybody actually really canceled Kanye to the point where he couldn't come back. I think that it's always been, and just the language of today in cancel culture made it seem like, oh, we're not fucking with Kanye ever again. But I think it was emblematic of, oh, we're not fucking with you right now because of this wild shit you say. And the moment you get back to saying that shit, you're going to be welcomed back with open arms. And this is what I have been saying about Kanye forever, since the Taylor Swift shit. Like, you're not going to be mad at him forever. You're always going to want to listen to his music. It doesn't matter what the fuck he does or says. You're always going to want to listen to his music.
Yeah, to the point where I wouldn't fuck with him. So, I don't know. I got to drop out one more time. This last time.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to keep this conversation about Kanye going. But no, that was my point that I made when he first started doing the MAGA shit and the supporting Trump. I was like, I don't like it. It's not great. Obviously, supporting Trump is not something that, was healthy policy-wise for us and our people, but it never really seemed like he was paying attention to policies or anything like that. It always seemed like he was a fan of the concept that a celebrity can become a politician and have all of this influence in the world. To me, that always was what he was looking up to and like admiring, not necessarily so much the actual job of being the leader of the free world, or what type of job Trump was doing at that. It always kind of seemed like he admired the concept. And I wonder that now that he's experienced dealing with that backlash, actually running for president himself, seeing how even being vulnerable and honest and truthful could potentially be damaging to his family, to his career, to all of these different things. I wonder if that experience is going to show up in the actual album itself. Like that's going to be very, very interesting to see because it's been a while and people been real fucking mad at Kanye. And it seemed like people welcomed him back with open arms fairly quickly. All he had to do is not say shit. And yeah, it seems like people are right back into it, like immediately back into it. So I don't know. I was just saying, I wonder if his experience with facing the backlash for supporting Trump, and because to me, what I think people have always mistaken is, I don't think Kanye was supporting Trump or his Trump as his for his politics or his policies. I always felt like Kanye was just really admiring the fact that this celebrity became the leader of the free world. Like that to me was literally as far as the support went.
That makes sense because he literally tried to do the same thing himself. So
exactly. So that's what I was saying. I wonder if understanding the backlash of supporting Trump or outwardly looking like he was supporting Trump and the combination of actually running for president himself and seeing how his own words and thoughts and even just being vulnerable put his career and his family and all these other different things at risk. And I wonder if that experience is going to show up in this album. Which I think would be very, very dope if it does. I definitely want to hear more about the divorce. I want to see if there's anything that he talks about in the album that gives more insight into the divorce and the family dynamic. I think that would be very, very interesting to hear too. I don't know, man. This is just exciting, man. It's exciting to have new Ye. It's exciting to have music, even anticipated music being this polarizing or generating this much conversation, right? Like even Drake's new album, the Certified Lover Boy album, the anticipation is there, but it's different. It's like, damn, we know it's going to be good. Just drop it so we can have it and enjoy it. Whereas with Kanye's, it's generating so much conversation. I'm talking about just the general perception of the music. Okay. It's like I feel like most people are like, Drake, go ahead and drop it. We're gonna like it. We already know that. We just want to have the song so that we can enjoy them. With Kanye, it's a whole lot of conversation about what's the theme of the album? What songs are we gonna like? Is he rapping? Is the production like? There's so many questions, and to me, it builds way more anticipation than what like Drake should have. By the way, did you hear Drake's single that he dropped yesterday with Smiley?
That's the single? I saw it. I thought it was with him. Like
he's featured on the song. Yeah, he's featured on the song, but they basically split it. I just thought it was funny that he dropped music randomly yesterday. Usually singles drop on Thursdays. But I feel like that one didn't come out until after, like later in the day.
I wonder how he feels about that signal not garnishing any attention, really.
I don't know. He got to feel a way. He got to feel something. Now the question is, the big question is, if you're Drake, what's your strategy? If you were planning on dropping this week or this past week, but didn't because you heard that the Kanye shit was coming out. And now we know that the next alleged release date is August 6th. Yep. Do you drop between now and August 6th? Do you wait and drop on August 6th right along with his ass? Do you wait till afterwards? Like, what's Drake's strategy now? Because I don't give a fuck what nobody says. This has impacted his release plans. I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say. It definitely has.
But we're about to get into the self-made PR team. Depending on how good this song is, and by this song I mean the Pusha T verse. This he could drop that right around or after, like a little bit before, or you could drop it on the same time as the Kanye album because he's been dissing Kanye for a minute. He could drop it around that same
and won't
time.
stop.
Yeah, and like I feel like that is probably one of the few things that can overshadow this Kanye release and kind of put Drake back into the conversation since Kanye took it away from him.
Are you saying just a song? So wait, is there a Pusha T diss song that's supposed to be coming out on this album or something?
No. I meant just like he was going to make another song in regards to replying back to the story of
Adidon or whatever it was.
Yeah, but Jay Prince told him
Jay
not
Prince
to
told him
release
no.
it.
So you're saying
So
if he
has that
does
song
release
in
that,
yeah,
gotcha.
because like that is to me because if you're Pusha T, you responding steps on Kanye's moment, and I don't know if Kanye would want you to do that, and I don't know if he would feel comfortable doing that because then you take away the spotlight from him. So now Pusha has to wait a certain amount of time, and then he's pressured to respond back by the people because he responded back the first time pretty promptly. So now he's in like a really weird situation.
If I'm Kanye though, I look at that as Drake is bothered, and if he just drops the diss song, then that's going to be fleeting. Because let's say for example, if he let's say for example he drops that right before Donda comes out, then that's just hella promo for Donda, because people are automatically gonna go want to hear the the Pusha T and Kanye song, which I think might be the first song on the album, just to see if they can pick up on any Drake disses. And then they're going to listen to the rest of the album. And then they have no Drake to come back with. And Pusha can then immediately put a diss
out. The song is already out, though.
What song? The Drake, the Pusha T diss?
The Pusha T and Kanye song. Like, you don't need to go back. It's out. Like, I literally just downloaded it.
Is it out, though? Like, is it readily available on streaming services? Of course, the connoisseur, like people in the know, can of course find this song.
Bro,
I'm talking about regular, like it's not on Tidal, it's not on Apple Music. It might be on Spotify.
I mean, I don't know how.
That's what I mean, though. Readily available to the masses. Everybody's not smart enough to know how to go find a download of it.
That shit in 3 minutes.
I know it's simple. I'm thinking about the more casual fam. Think about more like the more, unless it gets like put on YouTube or something where it's readily available. I don't know if most people are going to do the work to go find it.
All this stuff is out already, man. You got to be like someone that's completely a Luddite to not be able to find this music. But I see your point, though.
What is it? Do you know the name of the song?
Yeah, it's called Southern California.
Southern California. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. I think that I actually agree with you that Drake can put that out, but if that's not part of Certified Lover Boy, then I don't know how much that helps. Without dropping that single, how can Drake, like what can Drake do? Should he drop before, during, or after Donda?
I dropped without like that single. A few hours before, I would have the song hit the internet, and I would just post like a devil emoji on my Instagram and not say anything else after that. Just like on some petty, stirring shit move.
So you're saying,
Or
so
that
just
Drake
drop
smiling,
Certified
or
Lover
that Drake
Boy.
smiling meme. No, I just dropped the disc.
No, what I'm saying is we don't know if that's going to happen or not. He may never drop that song. So I'm saying outside of that disc, what can he do?
I mean, he could always drop his album as a surprise.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So should he drop CLB before, during, or after Donda?
I drop it at the same time.
Same time. That to me is going to be the best thing, because people are just going to go back and forth and listen to both, rather than either one of them having a chance to die out before listening to the other one, right? Like if he drops CLB right now, people are going to listen to it for a week, and then they're going to be off that come August. Exactly. But if he drops it at the same time, then yeah, people are going to probably absorb it the same amount and be able to judge which one is objectively better, or at least to the people. If he does afterwards, though, that doesn't seem like a bad move either, as long as it's not soon afterwards. It's got to be like a month or two after. It's got to be like basically beginning of fall in order for that to work. Because he would have to make it seem like his release date don't have shit to do with Donda at that point, if he goes after.
Are there Drake albums that you go back and listen to the whole album, or do you just like kind of fuck with songs off of particular albums but you don't listen to the whole album?
There's not a lot of them, but I do go back and listen to which one? Take Care? Is that the one where his head is in the clouds?
One with the heads in the clouds.
I also go back and listen to If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, and the Drake and Future album. Those are the only ones I go back to, though, in terms of the full album.
Take Care is the first one.
So not Take Care. Nothing Was the Same, and If You're Reading This, It's Too Late.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are the only two I actually like go back and listen to the whole project. So
I don't go back to listen to any of his Nothing Was the Same. I don't go back to listen to any of his albums, really. I'll listen to songs but not albums.
Yeah.
That's strange
because
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say that's strange because most of his albums are pretty good, but they're only good for one listen. They don't have replay value.
That's more what I was getting at, because I was going to ask, how many Kanye albums do you go back and listen to the whole album, or just songs?
Shit, I ain't gonna lie to you. On the way to the Monkey Sanctuary, we played Life of Pablo. We played Ye, like the Bipolar album. So even more recent shit still has replay value. I'm not gonna. That's a really good point.
See, to me, because of that typically happening with Drake albums, I think it'd be good if he dropped against another like major artist, because that is going to keep people going back and comparing the album, like kind of what you're saying, going back and comparing the albums, and like, oh man, okay, the Drake album is better, but I was like, no, I'll listen to the Kanye album. Whereas kind of like what you said, people tend to just drop and they listen to it for a week till the next hot project comes out.
That's true.
Because I think this is like when Kanye went against 50 Cent. People are going back and forth about which album was better.
Right.
So I think he can do the same thing. And if he wants to do like a Kanye reunion, that could be something different too. Like how Jay-Z was featured on Kanye's album, Kanye could be featured on Drake's album. Something like that. It's always more power and unity.
Yeah, but Drake too petty, and I don't think he over this shit yet. Like he's like they both still dissing each other in songs. Like still to this day.
Kanye's dissing Drake.
No, he is. He has some Calabasas bars for Drizzy on Donda. He talked about Calabasas, but he said a couple things about Drake. Yeah, they won't leave each other alone. It's so fucking funny to me.
Neighbors.
Ex-neighbors. Kanye don't live in Calabasas no more. He
Oh
moved
yeah, I
out.
forgot that nigga moved.
Yeah, he moved
Where's
out.
he in? Montana, Wyoming, or
Some
something like
shit.
that.
Utah or something. I don't know.
Utah. Like speaking of music, have you had since Kanye didn't drop? Obviously, have you listened to anything that came out this week?
I listened to Dave's album.
Who?
We're all alone in this. Dave is a
UK
rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave is dope.
Dope as
He's
fuck.
really
That nigga got bars.
yeah.
That kind of took me by shock. A lot of times I hear the UK rappers and they don't really have like entendres, if that makes sense. They have excellent beat selection. They can rap, but they don't really be like lyrical, metaphorical, entendre type rappers. That nigga Dave though, he can spit like for real.
Yeah, he's probably my top 3 UK artists. He has a song I've been meaning to play on the podcast. I haven't played it because like it's not a song I think American people would like, but like the nigga is spitting and his metaphors were amazing. They're top tier.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he dropped, so I'm definitely gonna get into that. I was listening to something else today, but I'm definitely gonna look for that. Nice.
Who's your other 2 who's your other one? So it's Dave, Big Shaq, and who else?
This guy.
I listened to Young Blue shit too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He dropped some?
Yeah, he dropped his
album. Debut?
Yep.
This is debut, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually dropped around this time. There's some good music this week I missed. I really like I like Skepta. And
Skepta's dope.
my other UK artist, and I don't want to have to put people just because of the history, so I'm not gonna put in Dizzy. But who else do I like? Skepta, Dave. Damn, I forgot the nigga's name. Stormzy. Stormzy, I think he makes really good songs. I don't think he's like super lyrical, but I think he makes really good songs. With like, kind of reminds me of like Tupac, where he's not the most lyrical, but I think he makes like dope, impactful songs.
Careful.
I didn't say he's like Tupac. I said he reminds me of Tupac.
I'm thinking of the part where you said that. I'm thinking of the part you said Tupac not lyrical. Is that something you want to stand on?
I will stand on it, put a flag on it, crip walk on it.
108.
Lay on it, nigga.
108. Timestamp. Timestamp down clipping this shit.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Write it down.
You think I came here to play around with y'all? God damn it, I'm not. So yeah, other than the Dave, I also listened to the Young Blue. Young Blue got everybody and their mama featured on his shit. And I'm not exaggerating. He's got John Legend, Her, Moneybagg Yo, Kodak Black, Kehlani, Big Sean, Jeezy, Drake, Gunna, 2 Chainz, Chris Brown, DeVito, and A Boogie with the Hoodie, all featured on his album. So literally everybody and their mama.
I felt like I saw the track list and I saw John Legend. I was like, that's a random. I'm curious what that sounds like.
I watched his Breakfast Club interview, and apparently he's been in the industry for a while now in terms of like writing, writing songs, even like putting out music and doing tours and shit. It's just that obviously he got the Drake boost and kind of blew up. But yeah, he apparently has done a lot of songs with Tink. So apparently he used to come to Chicago and fuck with her a lot. It's like a bunch of little underground artists that he's like apparently really, really, really cool with. And it's just now, for whatever reason, got the Drake boost. So he's blowing up.
So I'm glad. I'm definitely gonna check that one out too this weekend.
That
Man,
was my
it was
only
better
complaint
music
about
week,
his album. My only complaint about his album is it's not enough him on there. If that makes sense.
especially for a debut. I guess you would kind of want to not go too hard with
Exactly.
the features.
Exactly. Yeah, he literally emptied his clip with all of the fucking features he
I
could
wonder.
get.
I wonder if that's like a label thing or like a thing where he was like, I don't know if I can do a whole song. Let me add some features to kind of round out these songs or make them pop more. I
Yeah,
would
that's an
assume it's
interesting
probably
point.
more of a label thing.
On his
If you're an artist, why would you
the
want a million features on your debut? You know?
right. The way that he put it in the Breakfast Club interview was he felt like these were songs that he couldn't leave off the album. Like there's some dope
Mm.
ass songs. The songs are that good where he was like what the fuck I look like leaving a Chris Brown feature off my debut album. You know what I mean? So
True.
like
Yeah.
I could see both sides. I could see it the label like nah, you got to shoot your shot now. I could also see him being like, well, I can't not have this song on my album. But that's a really good question. I wonder which one is more pressure.
So you listen to the album. Do you think some of them songs could have been left off the album?
I think some of these in the age of deluxe albums,
Mm.
yes,
Okay.
maybe one or two of them, but not gonna lie, most of the features are really good.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like you're not gonna leave the Drake feature off. You're not
Yeah,
leaving that Her
especially since it
song.
already popped.
Yeah, the Her song, the Kehlani songs are like just structurally good songs. I could see those songs charting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if anything, I might have would have left the Jeezy song off, just because it's
Okay.
Jeezy. But that's the only reason. Like Jeezy's just not an active artist right now, so that's literally
Mm.
the only reason why I would have chose out to lead that one out. But Jeezy kills it. It's a good
Fair.
song too. um, but yeah, that's my Young Blue review. What other shit were you listening to this week?
Man, I listened to two albums. I listened to the Childish Major album.
Mm.
That was short. That was I think more of an EP. That was okay. I got to go back and really listen to it. I was just kind of listening to that while I was getting ready for school in the morning, and nothing really hit me. On a ride to school, I was listening to that Leon Bridges album. That shit is fire. You got some shit on there,
I've
man.
never
Especially your
heard you
R
have
and
that
B.
type of relation.
I felt this way about the Love and Cali album, but this one
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
good in
yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion. It's really good. I like even remember the
Okay.
names of the songs. That's how much they stand out to me. But
Really?
I was Details is a dope song. Show Enough is a dope song. Magnolias is an amazing song. Yeah, he has features on there, but they don't have the like names, so I can't. Some of those people's
Okay.
voices are recognizable to me,
What's
but
the name of the album?
I think it's something about okay, Gold Digger Sound by Leon Bridges. It's under
Gold Digger
45
Sound.
minutes, but it's 11 tracks. But like, Sweeter is good, but those songs have been out for a minute.
Right, right, right.
Boo Messas is good too, but Magnolias and Show Enough are like those are the ones to me.
Any cream pie music on there?
Uh, it's like music you would play on the way to the cream pie.
Got you. Mood
Yeah,
setting music.
it's like beautiful music that you feel like if you're driving from wherever you are, you got a little bit of a cross. What do the kids call it? A
Sneaky link.
crosswind or huh? No, no. When you're a little high and a little drunk. What y'all call it? A cross.
Oh, crossfaded.
Crossfaded. You little crossfaded. You driving back from the spot to your crib.
Crossfaded.
This is like some good, feel good music. You know, you feeling good. You happy. You singing about love. You know what I'm saying? Setting the mood. And it's Mexican Wi-Fi is the beat. This man been froze for like 10 minutes. Hopefully he ain't getting robbed and no home invasion ain't going on. Back?
Yeah, the funniest part about that was I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. So he was like, I hope this nigga didn't get robbed. Oh, that's hilarious. But I was saying there's one other album that I listened to. I don't think it was this week, but a recent album that I listened to, Goat Talk 3 by my problematic fave.
Oh, Boosie.
Boozy Badass, yeah. Album is good, man. It's actually not bad. Yeah, it's very diverse. I don't know what it is about Boosie, but I don't know. He figured out a way to stay relevant without gimmicks. He's still just little ghetto ass Boosie.
I think that's what it is because he's authentic to himself. So he doesn't have to do ploys, and because he's a naturally funny guy, he always has some interesting opinions and views that he's always willing to share.
Yep, so, and don't give a fuck about getting in trouble for it either.
Exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely go and check out that Leon Bridges for sure. I advise you. I mean, in the meantime, until August 6th, there's a bunch of shit we can listen to. Check out that Young Blue. Check out the Boosie. Check out the Dave. Did you ever listen to the Snow album?
Yeah, I got a chance to listen to it last week. Well, earlier this week, on Sunday.
Okay.
I liked it. It didn't stand out as much as the first two albums from her. But I thought it was a good album. I would rank it like 3 amongst what she put out so far. And she's put out some amazing bodies of work. So it's not like an insult to me to rank it there. But it just didn't hit the same way as those other albums. It was great songs on there, but it just didn't hit me the same way, you know?
That makes sense.
I don't know if that's because I don't think No ID handled most of the production on this album like he did the first one. So maybe that's what it is or something. I feel like they have a really good chemistry together because I know Tyler did at least 2 of the songs on this album.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh, 3, shit.
Yeah. I think he's featured on 2 of them, and then one of them is just producing.
Well, kudos to him though, getting his R&B bag though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out to Tyler. All right, should we talk about another California legend that's been in the news this week? Dr. Dre.
I was gonna say who?
Yes. Dr. Dre. In this this seems like actually a fairly quick divorce settlement that's been going on with Dr. Dre and his wife or ex-wife, Nicole Young. The internet's reported this week that he has been ordered to pay $300,000 per month to his ex-wife in spousal support. So that's the headline. Just people on the internet kind of took that and ran with it on both sides. It's a lot of I don't want to be insulting, but a lot of like fast food workers talking about how, see, this is why marriage will never work. I can't imagine giving half my shit to a woman. And there was also a lot of women talking shit about people's concerns about getting married because of outrageous spousal support amounts like this, or just the concept of spousal support, and shitting on niggas who aren't with that idea.
Yeah.
So the internet, both ugly sides of the internet, both men and women showed their faces in reaction to this news. I'd
Yeah.
love to hear your take on the 300K spousal support.
I saw some like Dr. Dre makes like something crazy like $54 million a year annually, right? And they're like, this $300,000 is only like was that $3.6 million a year, which is like a fraction of that money. And they're like, they didn't really say anything else outside of that. It's just like, this is a fraction of his money. To me, it doesn't necessarily justify it, no matter how much it is. It's I think spousal support overall is kind of crazy, and nobody agrees with it. As long as it's because that person is an adult. The kids are grown. You know, I can see how you could build a case where like these, you know, she's still raising the kids, and you know they need a level of comfort that they're accustomed to. I get that. You don't want to just abandon your kids, have them living in a project where you got a mansion in Calabasas. You know, that's kind of wild to me.
Unless you take custody of them, then it's kind of fucked up.
Right. Exactly. That is perfectly fine with me too. Shout out to Ludacris.
Yeah.
So I get that, but the fact that you have to take care of another human that's fully capable and has qualifications to get a very well-paying job, like it wouldn't be. I feel like if it went the other way, as far as like she was taking care of a man that made $30,000 a year, they'd be talking shit about the man. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation where like if you got it, you're supposed to give it. If you don't got it, you shouldn't be getting it. Like, it's lose-lose to me. And I also saw what you kind of said where like people were telling people that obviously don't qualify to make $54 million a year, talking about I don't see the point of getting married, or like married doesn't seem like a good investment.
Right.
Which to me, people saying that they shouldn't be worried about these things is true to a degree, because most women are willing just to marry a fast food worker. That's off top. But also to give argument for them, it's gonna be relative to what you make. So if you are a fast food worker, that will be a significant amount of your income. Exactly. So like that is a fair reason to be concerned. If you're not making that much already, now you have to support somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I can see why you would be complaining. But as someone that's married, how does this situation make you feel?
So first of all, it's hard for me to comprehend. Okay, so let me start over. The concept of spousal support is an outdated concept for us in 2021. Spousal support exists because women were not allowed to work. And so if a situation happened and they were divorced from their husband, in the majority of cases, an overwhelming majority of cases, that was the only income that she had to rely on. She was not fully capable of going and getting, finding, getting, and keeping a well-paying job. That has not always been a reality for women who get divorced. So the concept of spousal support is just outdated. It doesn't work anymore, especially now that there are more educated women, more single women, more all of these things. Women are not in the same place that they were when that concept was brought up. And so I kind of agree with you where if we're divorced, you're grown up, you go and live your life now. Like whatever perks that came with me or with being with me, if we're getting divorced, you don't have access to those perks anymore. Especially agree with you about the kids. Like kids are grown. Now that we what? Like I don't owe you for us breaking up. Number one, if I filed for a divorce,
you initiated it.
Exactly. Now, if Dr. Dre filed for divorce, that means I no longer want to support you. I don't like you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. If she files for divorce, then bitch, you don't want to be with me and you don't want to work it out. So I'm out, and everything I came with is out. That seems to make sense to me. With that being said, I also don't know the nature of their relationship. I don't know what she contributed to his career. I don't know what she had to deal with in that relationship. The Haitian Sensation that I have had conversations about just different shit in terms of what might end up being successful or not successful. Obviously, we don't plan on ever getting divorced, obviously. But we've also both had conversations about leaving with what we came into the relationship with. And that kind of energy to me makes me less inclined to want to be spiteful if a situation came up, if that makes sense. Now, if energy change or whatever, then yeah, you know, I'm gonna strap up and do what I gotta do.
The divorce.
Yeah, exactly. But just to even have, like, she was down to sign a prenup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just to even have that that energy or that perception makes it feel less scary, even if worse comes to worse. But I do think that just the general concept of spousal support is outdated and ridiculous. And this, what do I always say, is madness. It's like, it's absolute madness. It doesn't make any sense in this day and age. Let alone, like, we also have to think about what I think is important too, is you got to start thinking about these men's careers and what could their wives have possibly contributed to some of this stuff. I look at Tiger Woods and Dr. Dre specifically. Like, does Nicole have a musical bone in her body? Ain't she a lawyer? Like, can she pick out samples? Like, did she like leave a list of old records for Dre to go and look through at some point? Yeah. Like, what could she possibly contribute to the multi-billion-dollar empire that Dr. Dre has created? Now, the argument that women will make is, oh, she took care of the home and she let him beat on her. Like, that would be the argument from women. And my thing is, well, bitch, if you weren't there, he still would have made these songs. Like, if you were a terrible homemaker, that ain't have shit to do with them flutes. You know what I mean? He didn't.
He probably went to the studio to get away from you to make some music.
And if you want to make that argument that was his outlet away from being in a toxic relationship, then maybe we might have a more spirited debate. But I'm having a really, really hard time trying to figure out what did she or could she contribute to his musical empire, his musical genius. That one's hard for me. Same thing with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
What the fuck was Shorty? Shorty wasn't hitting no putts. She wasn't putting the ball on the tee in the backyard, giving him constructive criticism to keep his front shoulder closed. Like, she wasn't, that's not, you know what I'm saying? She did, that's not what she was doing. So that piece is just really hard for me to quite understand. Like, if I helped you make these millions, or if I contributed in any provable fashion, then you got me. You can start figuring out how to try to, you can start trying to figure out how to put a dollar value on that help and that contribution. Like, if it's a well-known thing that Nicole was in there, like going record shopping and bringing home records that he would pick through and like find some samples in, that's something tangible that you could say, as little as it might seem, but you could say like, nah, she kind of did that. You know what I mean? Like, but there's no evidence of that. There's no, I don't need, like, can she even sing? Can she carry a note? Like, did she make reference tracks or something? You know what I mean? Like, what did you do? How did you help this? And I don't, 300K. I don't give a fuck how much money that man makes. 300K is insane. That's insane to me. That's wild.
Yeah, it's never gonna make sense, man.
This goes back to my point that I made a few weeks ago about laws being outdated, or the way that laws are created being outdated. We live in 2021 in the internet age. The shit happens so fast. People's opinions change and happen so fast that like legislation or the courts or all of these things, they're not designed to work through things this quickly, which is why there was a lot of emotion behind the Asian hate crime bill, because that shit happened quick as fuck, and it was in response to shit that was happening in the moment, right? And now ideally speaking, that is kind of how shit should work, right? Like, you should be able to create laws to react to what's happening in the moment. Now, you should be able to do that. There's a reason why you can't always, and there has to be like special circumstances for that to happen. But the fact that somehow those circumstances were special enough for that to happen in that instance, where there seems to have been other very special circumstances that could and should have been given the same, if not more urgent attention than that was, kind of throws it all in the face. It's not equal. It's not that power isn't used correctly or in a way that's justified for everyone who lives in America. So that's where it becomes tricky. It's like, hey, fam, you either got to speed this shit up so that we can be reactionary to the times that we live in and the things that happen now, or we can't. We have to more equitably protect our people. It's got to be one or the other.
I guess I look at it differently. I have no issue with the pace at which things should be going through. It's the part about where people meander and I forget the name of the term. Filibuster. Yeah.
AKA bullshit.
Right. Like,
they be bullshit.
I think there should be some like steps to filter as the process goes along, because like I said, things can be reactionary sometimes, and when people are behaving in a reactionary manner, they're usually going off of little evidence, right? Like, it might just be something that just happens for a short spurt of time, and to create or craft laws or rules or regulations around something like that, to me, is like a bit short-sighted and kind of instant gratification to appease people. Because like, usually when you do stuff fast, you don't get it right, especially if it's something new or different. So I'm cool with the pace at which laws should be passed, but I don't like some of the tactics people use in order to prevent the laws from being passed at the pace that they should be passed at.
Isn't it all kind of the same thing though? Like, it comes with, what do I say? It comes with the territory, right? Like, you can't have both. You either
I'd rather have one than with the other. So.
Yeah. I feel you on that. The only pushback I guess I would give on that, and this is more so playing devil's advocate, is what could be wrong about protecting people against hate crimes? Is it that maybe the definition of what the hate crime is too big or small? And then you start getting into like blurred lines on, hey, just because we got into an argument, this is not a hate crime on Asian. You know what I mean? Like, is that what you mean by it starts getting, maybe the lines get blurred, or you get it quote unquote wrong if you rush?
I feel like proving something's a hate crime is kind of difficult. Like, how do you prove
prove
something comes from a place of hate? and not just the place of like you know how
Opportunity.
sometimes you'll see like say a serial killer on TV,
hmm
and you don't they're like reporting from the Channel 7 News. Police have discovered a man with 37 bodies underneath his porch or whatever, right?
hmm
And you might be like, I bet he's white. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So just because you may be upset or assume something about somebody in that moment doesn't necessarily mean you think or feel that way about the whole race of people. Like you might get angry at people in the moment, but to me that's not hate. That's just like is hate in the moment something that should be punishable as a crime, or is shown consistency of hate and you just behaving in a way, is that the same thing?
I don't think it's the same thing, but I do think that, for example, the like random acts of violence against Asian people because of misinformation and just ignorance about the coronavirus and how it started, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's very squarely and directly a hate crime. I also think that
I thought your ignorance is an excuse. Okay.
right. I also feel like if we want to talk about all of the obvious hate crimes against Black people that have been committed in America, the only reason that that becomes tricky is there's actually laws. So then you're gonna have to start convicting politicians for hate crimes for legislation type shit. That's to me where it could potentially get blurry. But I think that the threshold for a hate crime actually is high enough where it's pretty easily proven in the court of law. So for example, like Emmett Till, for example, it's a hate crime. And it's pretty clearly and obviously a hate crime.
Yeah.
Right. So like that,
Yeah.
there's no real gray area in a situation like that. If you were to try to convict, I don't know, certain bank companies for not giving out loans, I feel like an argument could be made that that's a hate crime, but an argument also could be made that it's not necessarily based on hate. It's an economic decision, right? So like that to me adds a little bit of gray area to it. But in my mind, most hate crimes are pretty cut and clear. Like, yeah, they don't seem very to be steeped in the gray area at all for the most part. I'm struggling to think of a situation where like somebody was convicted of a hate crime. I was like, was that a hate crime? Like, nah, most of the time them shits is hate crimes. Yeah. Hate. So yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. You want to know something that I hate? I hate the fact that, huh? Did you say Jews? What? Nah. God damn it, I'm not. Nah, I hate the fact that apparently cheerleading is about to be an Olympic sport. Not this year, but in Paris 2024.
That might be a dope Olympics to go to. Summertime in Paris.
The cheerleading events?
No, the Olympics overall in Paris would be like something to go to.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
How do you feel about cheerleading being an Olympic sport?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't seem too far away from gymnastics to me. It's just like a team gymnastics. There's dancing, there's music, there's people being thrown in the air doing flips and shit. I'm not upset by it. I'm just curious, like, I've honestly never seen other cultures have cheerleaders. So I'm like, that seems so specific to America.
It's rigged.
Yeah.
It's just
like,
goes for it.
That's a little confusing to me. I'm not sure how it made it in based on that. I would assume that like sports in the Olympics are usually sports that are more universal opposed to like US specific. So I'm curious about that. Other than that,
I feel like
I know you are a person that has strong stances on what can be considered a sport and what isn't. To me, I could see this being a sport, but I'm gonna give it to you now, brother. I know you got some opinions.
so. I think that your comparison of cheerleading to gymnastics, I think is interesting. I would consider cheerleading closer to synchronized swimming, which is also an Olympic event, but it's also stupid and useless and shouldn't be an Olympic event. You're trying what you're trying to so what cheerleading is, a competitive cheerleading is basically like it's the watered down version of the prom team. So it's like less
The
dance
what?
routine. The what's that called? Palm squat. Yeah.
Oh, I
Palms.
thought you said prom. Like what?
No, if I did, I meant to say palms.
Oh,
But like cheerleading is less dancing and more
is it less
cheering.
dancing?
Yeah, it's less than so.
Like,
I feel like
think the
palms is more
name
of
cheering is
choreographed. So I
okay.
think palms is more of a choreographed dance routine, where cheerleading is literally the purpose of it is to hype the crowd up, right? Like it's literally the cheers. It's not so much the flips and the spins are in
Mm-hmm.
service of hyping the crowd up, not to demonstrate athletic ability. It's not to draw, right? Like competitive cheerleading is about who's the most hype crew. It's almost like
Have you
dancing,
ever
like dance battle.
seen competitive cheerleading like on
I have,
ESPN?
I have, I have.
Are they really cheering or are they more like chanting? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who
That's
are they
what
cheering
cheering
for?
is.
Themselves?
And that's where this shit doesn't make any sense. If
I
you
think.
want to make an event, hold on. If you want to
Mhm,
make an event that is gymnastics light and is
mhm,
group flipping and spinning, you cannot call it cheerleading. You can't. That it's not
mhm.
cheerleading. Cheerleading is about hyping up the real athletes on the field and the crowd to get into what the athletes on the field are doing. Now, my thing is, I believe cheerleaders are athletes. I don't
Yeah.
think cheerleading is a sport.
Why? What's the criteria of a sport?
Have we had this discussion before?
Yeah, but why would it
Uh,
not be a sport?
I don't. I don't. It's not competitive, fam. There's no. You're not.
It
There's no.
literally is called competitive.
I know, and it makes no sense. So you mean to tell me if we all hit the same flips in this bitch, and we all
Mhm.
say "Go team, go," somebody still wins based on what
Well, that's why I
exactly?
say it's more like Olympics to me because I'm assuming it's about um
Like form and technique
routine,
and synchronization,
yeah,
but that is not
and like
sport.
landing these moves
That's to me is not sport though. So like for
because
example, racing a car,
uh,
NASCAR, that's not a sport.
mhm. Does a sport have to have a ball for it to be a sport to you,
No,
or
no,
some kind of thing that is being passed amongst the group for it to be a sport?
no.
Okay.
Disc golf, that's a sport.
Regular golf isn't.
Golf is a sport.
Golf
Golfers are
is a
not
sport.
athletes. Golf is a sport. Golfers are not athletes. See, I don't think those two are required to be together. I don't think that
I
sports
think they
require
are
athletes
now.
and that athletes require sports. I don't necessarily believe that. So like NASCAR drivers are not athletes and driving and racing is not a sport. Cheerleaders are athletes. Cheerleading is not a sport.
What is the
Golfers are not
criteria?
athletes. Golfing is a sport. To me, it has to be a clear competition that is not based on subjective judgments on the quality of your athleticism, right? So like the reason why golf would be a sport is because
Mm-hmm.
fam, I got the ball in the hole in less strokes than you. There's nothing subjective about that. Right?
So
There's no
NASCAR should be a sport then. but they just aren't athletes.
Racing. Okay, racing. I'll give you racing is a sport.
Okay.
Racing, okay. And under that criteria, then yes, you're actually 100% right. Racing is a sport.
So also with boxing, right? Would that be a sport?
Boxing is a sport. You know who the fuck won the fight.
Not necessarily.
You do.
If it goes 12 rounds, it can be very subjective. It's only known if somebody gets knocked out or TKO'd.
Yeah, but I also feel like
we've seen plenty of fights.
Subjective opinions of the judges, you could also look at the objective stats on accuracy, number of punches land. Like that's not subjective. That's very objective.
But they don't use that though.
That's not the fault of the sport.
I didn't say it was the fault of the sport, but like based on that criteria, it wouldn't be a sport. You can't use statistics they don't use in order to, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I could hear that argument. It doesn't necessarily sway me. That might be the only exception to what I'm saying. Do you have any other examples that might not fit my criteria?
Outside of most combat sports, well, actually, boxing might be the most like that, because when I think of other sports like outside of MMA, I think of like competitive judo or jiu-jitsu or wrestling. You get points for doing these moves.
Right. So
like, yeah, boxing might be the only one. So I guess that could be the exception to your rule, you know?
Potentially, yeah. I think you also made a good point. I've never seen no cheerleaders from anywhere else.
I'm trying
like
to think
who else has
cheerleaders looking like?
I'm looking this up right now. Brazilian. See, I don't want to just type in Brazilian cheerleaders. I don't know what that's gonna pull up on my cheer squad Olympics. Let me try to.
Yeah, what countries? Oh, I guess they don't know now because they got to like qualify for it. But I'm curious if there's any way to find out what countries have cheer teams now that plan on competing in 2024.
Let me see. Cheerleading Olympics. Yeah, I don't even know. It's just a bunch of articles saying how. So there is an international cheer union. Let's start there. International cheer union. And ICU World Championship. Let's see who competed here. Jesus, they need to update their website if they want to compete in the Olympics. ICU World Championship winners from 2009 to 2017. Oh, okay.
Is there a dominant country?
No, actually. Yes, the United States. But for certain events, we'll see. Let's see. Maybe this is my event. So there's an all-girl elite, all-girl premier, co-ed elite, co-ed premier, team jazz, team hip-hop, team freestyle palm, doubles hip-hop, doubles freestyle palm, and then the junior versions of all of that. So the last stat that they, like the last year that they have on this website is 2017. And I'm seeing, I'm seeing England, Germany, Slovenia, United States, Finland, Canada, Chile, England, Puerto Rico, Chinese Taipei, Finland.
Okay.
Yeah. Philippines. So it's actually like Ukraine, Slovenia. There's actually Malaysia is on here, Wales, Kazakhstan. Like there does not seem to be one dominant group. And really the US is only on here We won the gold a lot, but not, but like recently, starting recently. So
I have some more sports related questions for you to see where they fall as far as category.
yeah,
Do you think that? Shit, my bad. Do you think that gymnastics is a sport?
no,
Okay. Do you think e-gaming is a sport?
fuck no.
It fits your criteria.
Yeah, but that's like saying Scrabble is a sport. No.
It fits your criteria as the objective
Well,
winner.
it does require some athletic ability. How about that?
Hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's not hand-eye coordination. First of all, that's
Well, it
reflexes.
depends on what game you're talking about.
9 times out of, unless you playing like a Wii Sports game, it's more so reflexes than hand-eye coordination because your hands and your fingers are moving. Your hands aren't really moving. It's your fingers,
I mean,
and
like,
it's about reaction time. It's not really about. It's about
you know how
reflexes and
hand-eye
reaction time.
coordination works, my brother.
Yeah,
Your hands and your eyes are coordinating together. You're looking at it and you're using your hand.
okay. Does typing require hand-eye coordination?
Piping?
Typing.
Oh, I thought you said piping. I'm like, I don't really need to be looking where you fucking, but
No, typing. Typing. Is that hand-eye coordination?
yeah, it is.
Is cooking hand-eye coordination?
Especially depending on how you type, is hand-eye coordination.
That's true. If you type
you're
with
a
your
search
index
and peck
finger like
person,
this,
that's
yeah.
definitely hand-eye, which is a lot of people.
What about is cooking hand-eye coordination?
Depends on what you're doing.
We're getting real gray though.
Because if
Like,
you're
it's
on a
starting to
wok,
get real.
if you're on a wok and you're like making stir fry, you gotta, to make sure that shit don't flip out the pan. If you flipping pancakes and you trying to be fancy, you throw them bitches in the
Throwing
air.
pizza dough around, if you spinning pizza dough.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like we're getting extremely gray. Esports, I can't. I'm not calling that a sport. It's not a sport, and they're not athletes.
Why isn't it a sport?
Because it's just not. What
You have
can
no
you
reason, it just
imagine?
don't feel right with you. It don't sit right with your spirit.
Can you imagine calling saying you're playing a sport
Uh-huh.
and you're on fucking Minecraft all day? Like, no, we're not doing that.
If I'm making millions of dollars, I'm definitely telling women I'm an athlete.
Don't write it.
What you do?
Man.
I'm in the league. Baby. Whatever the fucking name of them esports leagues are. You play a sport? Yeah, I'm in the league. What team you play for? Whatever team LeBron's son play for.
What's that? FaZe Clan or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I'm in FaZe
That's
Clan.
funny. That is funny. Actually, Otis, I think his brother or something like that out in LA plays for the Lakers esports team. So like he literally plays for the Lakers.
Have an esports team?
The whole NBA has an esports team.
Are they
Every
like
team. They play on 2K.
Okay, I was gonna say, what sport is it? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they play on 2K. And they're affiliated with the team and the NBA. And it's funny when he was first telling me about it, he was like, yeah, my brother plays for the Lakers. I'm like, nigga, shut your ass up. Like, what the fuck
you don't think
about?
I won't be getting that off?
Oh man, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. But they talking about esports is in the Olympics now too, right? Or it's going to be?
Is that what I heard?
Or it's starting to get like
familiar.
It might be starting to move into that area where they might start considering it. So here's the thing, though. I saw an article, I think it was last week, where an equestrian rider got banned for testing positive for cocaine. You're not the horse. You can't be a little high riding the horse. Like, as the jockey, you can't get a little high. Like what? What?
I can see them flipping it and saying it's part of like the jockeys being under the influence is a animal health related issue.
Okay, fine. If you want to do that,
Like driving while you're drunk, you know.
right. I can
Riding
understand
while
that.
intoxicated.
Perfectly understandable. You about to tell these esport athletes that they can't drink nothing, they can't have no energy drinks, they can't have no sneak, they can't have none of them performance enhancing drugs. You mean to tell me that's what's gonna happen? Ain't no one hitters allowed for the esport gamers, ain't no vape pens allowed, none of that.
That might be the first sport to like allow weed to be used while doing the sport.
You mean to tell me, do you think that they skateboarding is in the Olympics now? You mean to tell me that they drug testing them skateboarders the same way they
That's not a
drug
sport.
testing everybody else? Skateboarding is definitely not a sport. No.
It's the criteria for like the gymnastics is you said you was gonna do this. Let me see how well you did what you said you was gonna do. Isn't that the criteria? It's a system.
Damn. In that case, then marriage should be a sport. If we're gonna do all that.
You was gonna do this. God damn it, if you thought I came here to play.
God damn it, I'm not. Nah, see, like, yeah. I feel like the sport has to be the combination of athletic endeavors with with a objective the wording here was tricky just to try to come up with like the dictionary definition of a sport. It's an athletic endeavor with an objective conclusion. There we go.
Okay.
I think that definition actually works.
Endeavor.
With an objective conclusion.
That's a good like dictionary definition.
Yeah, I'm rocking with that. That sounds good, actually. It's the best I've been able to come up with ever. Let's see, where we at on time?
Yeah, we
almost at 2 hours. These shits be flying by, man. What the fuck? We did like an hour 15 on Kanye though.
The album didn't even come out.
Right.
How much Kanye fans we are.
For real. Yeah. This is how our if rest in peace, if Kobe was still alive and like still in the playoffs, that's how we would break down playoff games. Like quarter by quarter.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. We were both wrong with our predictions about the NBA.
Oh yeah, that's right. Milwaukee Bucks, NBA champions.
Surprising.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm happy for them. Shout out to the Midwest team doing something. I don't think anybody expected them to win this one.
Nope.
Chris Paul disappointed me. Now he never deserves to win. I was rooting for you. We were rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you.
I'm more curious to see how you feel this sets Giannis's ranking. I remember you saying basically he was the East Coast, or I guess before James Harden moved to the East Coast, he was the East Coast James Harden, where like he put up impressive numbers, but those numbers didn't really translate to the team winning. And this time his numbers translated to the team winning, and they got that chip. Has your opinion changed? It's still the same? Has it made you a believer?
I try to be as consistent. Yeah, I try to be as consistent as possible. If you drop 50 in a closeout game in the NBA Finals, I'm not talking shit about you. I'm just not in my bones to talk shit about you if that's the type of performance you get. He also made 16 out of 17 free throws. So
for him,
when you talk about that's amazing. That's incredible. Yeah. So your biggest weak spot, free throw shooting, you came through and made your free throws. You also dropped 50 in a closeout game. Those are two things that I just can't talk shit about. Like that's pretty amazing. So
Wow.
I'm
There
gonna
you
definitely
go.
give him his props. I think it's a well-deserved NBA Finals MVP. I think he was the best player in the series. Just overall, he had like 3 or 4 40-point games and closed it out with a 50 baller. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to
Yeah.
say? Like, I can't. There's no shit talking where I'm gonna sound
Yeah.
sane talking shit about him. What I will say is maybe my take is now translated to I just don't like his game. I still think
fair.
I might stay on the point where like for one game his performance earned his team the win. I don't know if he's able to sustain that for a whole series. I don't know if he's the reason why the Bucks will win each playoff series. He might be the reason why you win a closeout game. I'm not sure if he's the reason why you win a series. But he's also 26 years old. There's a lot. He has a ton of time to prove himself, if that makes sense. So I guess I'll rescind my Giannis hate a little bit and say that time will tell. But it looks really, really good for him right now. And I'll give him props. Amazing performance, amazing closeout game.
Heard you talking
at
shit.
this point, at this point, he got the same record as Jordan in the finals. Never been to a game 7. So that's how I gotta look at it.
Game 6, like
If you think I'm here to play around the ball,
exactly.
down on that.
And he put
exactly.
them.
Put that
nigga ass in the dirt.
He did single-handedly, damn near. But also, like outside of basketball and his performance on the court, you can't help but love his story, love his passion and enthusiasm for the game. Just that good old immigrant wisdom at such a young age. It's endearing. The fact that, I don't like how people are saying he's not on the super team. He has 2 other all-stars on his team. Why do people keep saying he's not on the super team? Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are both all-stars. Chris Middleton at this point is a multiple-year all-star, and Drew Holiday has been an all-star on multiple teams. I'm not going for that. He's got a good team. He's got a good team around him.
What's his name? Not Drew Holiday, but the other guy, Chris Middleton. Yeah. Has he been an all-star without Giannis?
No, but they were drafted together.
Okay. But Giannis has been an all-star without him.
I don't know if that's true. And if he has, it's only been once.
Okay. I'm not sure. I was just asking. Honestly don't know.
Let me see. Let's see here.
Also, speaking about Giannis, I think his personality, it's kind of hard to hate on him as an individual because he's just like such a happy-go-lucky, humble guy.
Right.
He's not one of those people that's like, oh, the ball should go through me every play. He's like, I feel like he does what he needs to do for his team to win, and I feel like he's one of those teammates people on the team actually fuck with,
Right.
Like,
Everybody fucks with him.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton. So Chris Middleton has been there 3. Giannis has been there 5.
Mm-hmm.
So Giannis has been there more than Chris, but not by much.
He's been there 5 out of the 8 years he's been in the league.
It's not bad at all.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Yeah, you're right.
But
it's hard to hate on that,
man. I guess I can see there. I don't know if Chris Middleton can make an all-star game without Giannis. I'll just say that. But I definitely think it's a super team when they're all playing together.
That's an interesting take. Does Chris Middleton make an all-star team without Giannis?
And that probably would have to be hollering at the Elias stats people to Show me what his
yeah.
stats are when Giannis. I know he put up some great numbers. A couple of games I think Giannis missed. But I'm curious, like how that is projected over the course of them playing together.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was that put a sour taste in my mouth when he hyperextended his knee and did all that dramatic shit, laying on the ground and shit, and then hopped his big ass up and tried to come right back in the game. It's like, nah, fam, you're gonna have to miss a game, fam. You just did you too big to be doing all of that dramatic shit and then just to hop up and try to get right back in the game. Nah. And I honestly think it was the Milwaukee PR team that was like, yo, you cannot play these next 2 games. I don't give a fuck how good you feel. You did too much on that floor. You damn near had those fucking stretchers out here. Like, no, we're not doing that. That he was just extremely dramatic. And his big ass is always on the floor. He's every single play. He's on the floor. You're the biggest person on the court. Why are you on your back all the time?
Yeah, he's European, man. Niggas like popping. Well, is Greece European? He's Mediterranean.
That nigga mixed. He African and European. That's a hell of a mixture. In terms of like aggression
should have a
levels.
better jumper.
Yeah, for sure. You know who? So, and we can end on this question. Who do you think is more responsible for the Phoenix Suns' loss? Chris Paul? Actually, 2 questions. Number 1, was Chris Paul hurt or was Chris Paul Chris Paul?
I didn't see the only playoff game I saw was at your wedding. So that shows you
really
how long I've been not watching games.
Okay.
So I honestly don't know. I've just been looking at a few highlights here and there and mostly box score. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm not about to say some shit I don't know. Can't help it. So I'm gonna have to refer to you on this one.
It's hard to say, and unfortunately, it looks like Chris Paul is just Chris Paul. Unfortunately. But my next question was going to be about DeAndre Ayton. I was watching Game 6, and the only reason I'm delaying right like this right now is because I'm looking at his stats. I don't remember him making a single field goal. He went 4 for 12 from the field. And I remember making the comment, like, damn, this nigga misses every shot that he takes. Like, point blank, he missed every one of them. I physically don't remember. And even throughout the course of the game, I don't remember his 4 shots that he made. He made some free throws, but I didn't see him. I didn't witness a single field goal that he made. Now, is that because Giannis and Brook Lopez are who are defending him? Or is that because he's trash? My argument is with the performance of Devin Booker and even the subpar performance of Chris Paul, at least in the last 2 games, games 5 and 6, if DeAndre Ayton did anything, Phoenix would have won both of those games.
What's his plus minus?
It was -7 in game 6. It was, he had in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, why is only 5 games on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 games on here for some reason, but 3 of the 5 games he had a -7, -7, -6 plus minus. And the win, he had a +10 plus minus.
Yeah, maybe he's a liability.
Yeah, he gotta go. He gotta go. You need a more consistent big man. He's still young too, but it was nasty.
If you're Chris Paul, do you stay or do you try to go somewhere else?
I try to go to the Lakers to play with Bron. And if I can't do that, I stay with Monty Williams.
Fair enough. That is his man's them.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, if you Chris Paul, like you on your Carmelo Anthony at this point. Like it don't really matter. If you're not playing for a ring, if you're not playing for a ring, then you can go ahead and retire now. Like the game doesn't need you anymore.
Don't need you. Yeah, I feel like if you're Chris Paul, though, the way his mindset is, I'm assuming getting this taste of the finals drives him to want to try to do it again.
I hope so, man. It like these types of things have a different impact on you when you're late in your career like this. Like he's 16 years. This is what year 16 or 17. Getting that close is like he may feel like, oh fuck, I'm never going to make it. At this point, he knows how hard it is to get there. He's taken really good teams. He's been on really good teams that went. He's been on shitty teams and dragged them kicking and screaming there. Like at this point, it's like, damn, I don't know what else the fuck to do. At this point, maybe I'm just destined not to win. Somebody young like Devin Booker, though, that type of shit might inspire him and light a fire under his ass. Chris Paul just might be utterly defeated. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If you think about too, I don't think Milwaukee is going to win another championship anytime soon. You got to remember, the Warriors are coming back with a healthy Clay and a full lineup and a bunch of young players. Hopefully, the Lakers get a shooter.
Another year playing together.
Brooklyn's going to have another year playing together. Trae Young is hungry.
Miami might give him some problems.
Exactly. Like the league, these injuries this year, I think just presented the perfect opportunity for Giannis and Chris Paul to be able to compete for a championship.
I agree.
I don't think these circumstances are going to be replicated again anytime soon.
It's going to be real rough for niggas when Clay come back.
yeah, it's going to be real. That the West is about to be
especially
so nasty.
If they make some moves, they can get
Think
Pascal or some shit like that. Are they talking about getting Bradley Beal?
Utah's still out there. Denver is still out there. The Lakers are still out there. Like it's the West is something serious now. And New Orleans plays in the West, right?
Yeah.
New Orleans is on the come up too. If Zion stays, which he probably not. If I'm Zion, I leave immediately. Both Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday won rings the year after they left the Pelicans. Get the fuck out of there. Just leave. Like, ask for a trade.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah, that's tricky. I don't know. I would have to see how he progresses if I were him. Like, he could literally be the man in New Orleans.
But do you want that, or do you want to win? See, and that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the wild card all the time with athletes. Some athletes are perfectly content with just being the man, never doing anything with that. Some people don't give a fuck about being the man. They just want to win.
Carmelo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like, well, see, I don't know. I bet you Melo would have, if he could do it all again, he would have made a different decision. He wouldn't have taken them. He would have tried to get on a better team. But anyway, that's besides the point. It's hard to tell what type of person Zion is. Yeah, we're gonna end up having a 3-hour podcast on this bitch. But it really depends, and I don't know yet. Right, I don't know yet much about Zion's killer instinct. I want to just yet to know if he's about winning or if he's about that shmoney. And the fact that there's already leaks about he don't like playing in New Orleans kind of tells me that he wants to win. So, I don't know.
Let's see.
All right. Anything else to get to? Go ahead and wrap this thing up.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
Appreciate you doing this late night one with me, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got some plans this weekend?
Yeah, schedule's kind of busy. Tomorrow, your mom invited me over for some chicken and sausage gumbo. I guess she wants to disappoint me and have me try hers for the Eid. She told me. And after that, my cousin on my father's side, he invited me. I guess I don't even know who the hell you said. Somebody having a 60th birthday party inviting me out. Them niggas live on the west side, so
Oh shit!
I'll figure that
Better
out.
have that
They've
thing
been too
on
many
you.
carjacked, right? Too many carjacked. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
For sure.
Yeah,
All right
but,
then. Go ahead.
Y'all got any more adventures planned while you're down in Mexico? You got one more week?
It's
Oh,
like
no,
a
you
week
got
and a
more than
half,
that.
actually.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a week and a half, almost 2 full weeks. So, Whit's birthday dinner, we're gonna have that while we're out here. We're
His birthday's
also,
on
I
the
think,
4th?
on the 4th. Yeah,
Wow.
on the 4th. It's Obama's birthday. They got the same birthday.
I don't know when that nigga was born. I don't know him like that.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man,
So yeah, we got tequila day tomorrow. I think we're doing some swimming with sea turtles and whale sharks. There's probably a couple more food spots that we want to go. Oh, found a spot better than Primo Chuki too out here. Which
I would hope so, nigga. You in Mexico. That I'll never try, but
so.
you know.
I would have
like...
hoped so too. But to tell you the truth, the food out here, this is why I said what I said about Chicago. It's kind of hard to find good food out here, to be honest. Even like what's recognized. Yes. Even the food amongst the like locals that's recognized as like, oh, you gotta go here. It's like, I mean, I didn't have to come here. Y'all could have just told me what the dish was and I could have made it at the crib. Like it's not spectacular, I'll be honest with you. But I did find some Al Pastor tacos that's giving Primo Chuki a run for his money.
Is it some street meat tacos or is it like an actual sit down brick and mortar spot?
It's a brick and mortar spot. It's called El Fogon, and they make their El Pastor on a grill outside the restaurant, so that people can either walk up and get to go plates, or they cut it off the what's the little gyro spinny thing that they use to make gyros.
I don't know what that shit is called.
That thing they just slice it off of there and hand it to the servers who bring it right to your table. So it's like really fast and efficient. It's really delicious. I didn't try any of the other tacos, but don't really see the need to, honestly. They put it's literally, this is how you know it's really fucking good. It's literally the tortilla, the al pastor, and a piece of grilled pineapple. And that's it. No onion, no cilantro. They don't do shit else to it. That's all you need. Yeah, it's fire. It's fire.
That sounds good. If I ever make it down there with y'all, one of these visits, I'm sure y'all going back.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely come back, whether I'm by myself or not. I'm gonna come back. All right. With that being said, it's been another edition of the Self-Medicated Podcast live from New York. It's the Self-Medicated Podcast. As always, I am your host, the Wayfarer, aka Quentin Quarantino, aka the Banter Boss, aka Jon Snow, because I know absolutely nothing.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And these are facts, but they also call me Young Wastradamus, aka Young Mortgage Freeman.
What the hell is he doing? Fucking people. Fucking people.
Yes, indeed. AKA Young Floyd Mayweather, AKA Troy the Checker, AKA Way Pesos. Here as always with the captain of the igloo, young, popular, and friendly, AKA the Box Hunter, AKA One Pop Poppy, AKA the Bottom Feeder, AKA the Black Kevin Sorbo, AKA Young Black Hercules, AKA the strongest nigga you know. AKA the light skin, bitch your bitch. AKA the light skin Kevin Samuels.
Do you want this to go reasonably or do you want it to go left?
It usually goes left. AKA the do-rag Don Dada. It's been another episode of the Self-Medicated Podcast, and we out.